Every single year, millions of these vibrant threads are tied across wrists in India and around the world. It is the defining image of Rakhshabandhan, a celebration of sweets, gifts, and the specific love shared between brothers and sisters. But the complete story of how this festival emerged in Hindu Sanatan culture goes much deeper than the modern surface. Pawanthakur and Thakur Property Consultancy bring you this exploration of the ritual's true history. While we see a sibling festival today, its origins are rooted in a world of warriors and priests. When you strip away the modern exchange of gifts, the historical record shows that biological siblings were not part of the original picture. The name comes from two Sanskrit words, Raksha, meaning protection, and Bandhan, meaning a bond or tie. In its earliest form, this was the Raksha Sutra, a protective charm. Historical texts describe priests tying it to kings and wives tying it to husbands right before they set out for battle. This raises a question about the evolution of the tradition. How did a consecrated battlefield charm designed for warriors translate into a global celebration of family love? Ancient Vedic traditions operated on the logic of the gift. A thread tied with genuine devotion served as a physical anchor, binding the recipient to protect the sender through times of adversity. We see this mechanism in the Bhavisha Purana, which records a great battle between the gods and demons. Lord Indra, the king of gods, feared his army was on the verge of total defeat. On the advice of the sages, Indra's wife Sachi prepared a sacred thread. She used her divine powers to consecrate it and tied it to Indra's wrist to give him the strength and protection needed to triumph. The original Rakshabandhan was a spouse's blessing for safety and success against evil. It established that the thread's core purpose was duty and the promise of protection in the face of danger. Sanatan culture eventually expanded this bond beyond marriage, moving toward the concept of chosen siblings. No story illustrates this shift more clearly than the bond between Lord Krishna and Princess Draupadi. During a royal ceremony, Krishna cut his finger on the sharp edge of his Sudarshana chakra. While others ran for medicine, Draupadi spontaneously tore a strip from her expensive silk sari and tied it around the wound to stop the bleeding. Deeply moved, Krishna promised to protect her whenever she was in peril. He fulfilled that vow years later during the Vastraharan, miraculously extending her sari to save her from public humiliation when others sat silent. Because Krishna and Draupadi were not biological siblings, this legend redefined the ritual. It showed that the bond is forged by spontaneous acts of care and mutual promises, the creation of a chosen family. Beyond mythology, the cultural weight of the Rakhi began to appear in recorded history, influencing the decisions of leaders on the battlefield. Legends from 326 BCE describe Roxana, the wife of Alexander the Great, sending a thread to King Puru. According to the story, Puru saw the Rakhi on his wrist during combat and chose to withhold a fatal blow against Alexander to respect the vow. In 1535, Queen Quanavati of Mewar faced an unstoppable invasion by the Sultan of Gujarat. Realizing she could not save her kingdom alone, she sent a silk Rakhi to the Mughal Emperor Humayun, calling him her brother. Humayun was so moved by the gesture that he diverted his military campaign in Bengal to defend Chittor. He arrived to drive out the Sultan's forces and restore the kingdom to Karnavati's son. These accounts show the Rakhi evolving into a powerful physical anchor of devotion. It became a gesture capable of crossing religious and imperial boundaries to demand mutual support. By the 20th century, the thread was used as a tool for mass societal unity. In 1905, the British colonial government attempted to partition Bengal, specifically to divide the population along religious lines. To counter this, poet Rabindranath Tagore organized a mass Rakshabandhan protest, turning a family tradition into a strategy for civil defiance. On the banks of the Hooghly River, thousands of Hindus and Muslims tied Rakhis on one another as a public declaration of solidarity. This elevated the thread into a symbol of shared brotherhood. Tagore used the ritual to prove that a cultural bond could hold together what a colonial administration was trying to tear apart. Today, the ritual connects modern India to its regional roots, its deities, and its environment. In the Kohli fishing community of Maharashtra, women tie Rakhis to the rudders of their vessels. They offer golden coconuts to the sea god Varuna, praying for safe waters and protection for their families. This sense of duty has expanded into the broader community. It is common to see protective threads tied onto law enforcement and modern defenders, returning the ritual to its warrior protection roots. From Brahmin males in the south renewing their sacred threads during Avani Avitam, to Rajasthani women tying lumba rakis to their sisters-in-law, the tradition continues to expand the circle of who is bound to protect whom. In Hindu Sanatan culture, a simple cotton thread carries the weight of a lifelong promise, remaining a powerful testimony to the strength of human connection. Thank you to Pawanthakur and Thakur Property Consultancy for supporting this journey into our heritage. Share this with your chosen family, and we'll see you in the next video.